education, something that I have years and years of experience in. I have a bachelor's degree um, in communications. I have years and years of experience in behavioral health and in the education field, in several aspects and tons of experience. But I want to talk about our kids. I want to talk about the youth. I want to talk a little bit about, real quick, just for a couple minutes, some you know jewels, I guess, tips I want to put out there as an educator, as someone who is an educator full time, a supervisor in behavioral health, an athletic coach, referee, all that good stuff. Besides music, I love education and I love coaching and sports. But I just wanted to talk about something real quick, and not to get too deep, but I wanted to touch on something, and that is the relationship, or the dynamic, I take that back, the dynamic between parents and their kids, families and their kids, grandparents, whomever, and the school system itself, whatever school district your child or children may be a part of. I want to put it out there for parents to be very mindful that their home environment, the support that they do or do not receive, is just as impactful and important to a child's growth and education as the actual classroom. The more of a routine, the more support, the more structure, discipline, that and love, most importantly, comfort, all these things that a child receives wherever they are, it will allow them to succeed in the classroom. And I think it's unfair to educators, teachers, when they have a classroom full of children from K through 12, and they have kids in there, and teachers try their best to cater and to engage one-on-one with each child and meet those children's needs, those the students' needs. I know teachers and principals that have been doing this 20-25 years, and they've impacted so many students' lives. But it's unfair to put the entire load on the teachers. They have a classroom to run and that type of thing. So I want to put it out there that when your child is home, grandchild, niece, nephew, however the relationship is, you're taking care of that child and you're sending them to school, do your best to have a environment at home that will allow them to succeed. And I say that there's to say it's not about one particular way of doing things, but when you're giving your child love, structure, whether the parents are there or not there, the grandparents, however it is, that if that child is sleeping with a smile on their face to the best of your ability as the caretaker, and you're letting the child know that everything is all right. You're sending that child to school with a positive mindset, filled with love, and the child knows that here at the house everything's okay. You know what I mean? When I get to school, I'm going to have my issues walking home, going to school, riding my bike home, catching the bus, however. But when I get home, that's my safe haven. That's where I get to recharge. That's where I get to prepare for the next day. The nourishment, the mental, emotional, physical nourishment, the protection, the love. It's very important. And I want to put that out there because that's what makes a child succeed. Just as much as having incredible teachers and coaches and staff that are at the school, it's also at home. It starts at home, it really does. Whether a single parent home, whether grandparents, let's be mindful to take as best care of our kids. And when they come home with the homework, they've had a long day too. A lot of us put in hours, some of us put in 12 hours, some of us, put in, hours that you wouldn't believe. And, the kids come home, they're bushed. They're tired. They've worked, per se, they've been in school, excuse me, itching. They've been in school, getting bit up out here. They've been in school all day. They've been up since early. They come home, they're tired. You know what I mean? They're tired, and they have to do it all again. So keep that in mind, that they have an adult schedule. Some of these students and kids, have longer, more demanding schedules than some adults. You know what I mean? Some kids walk in the house and put their book bags down. They see, whoever family members over there, playing the game. They haven't worked all day. So just keep that in mind. That the child needs to recharge, and when you're yelling at them, why didn't you do this or why didn't you do that, or keep in mind they have a long day and their homework can be difficult and that type of thing. So please, parents and guardians, just be mindful of the importance of having a structure at home and having a loving structure and a routine. The more peaceful, the better. And just encourage them with your words and your actions. It goes a long way. It helps with their education and so forth. You know what I mean? And that's just something to mention. Well, this teacher didn't do this, or the teacher didn't do. The teachers, we're doing the best we can. There's a lot of students. You know what I mean? There's a lot of kids, and we're all doing the best we can. But we need families to realize their role is important. Don't just sit there and say, I'm gonna send my kid off to school, and then you take it from there. You know what I mean? You do everything you're supposed to do, and then when they come home, they better be getting all A's and on the report cards when they come out. But instead of that, parents need to realize, yes, I want my child to succeed and get all A's, but let me make sure that I'm doing what I am supposed to be doing here at the house. Before they leave, when they go to bed at night, what's their routine? What are they eating? What are they watching? Are they taking a break? What's their relationship with their family, their parents? Am I encouraging my children? Am I being a listener? Am I providing a listening ear? So that's something I wanted to put out there about education, and I hope it resonates, because I'm a parent. I know I love my kids more than anything, more than life itself. You know what I mean? I'll do anything I can for them to succeed, and I know that it's my duty to make sure that I'm preparing them and doing my best. You know what I mean? And that's important. But so I just wanted to share that. But all the best for a great school year this year. College, same thing. You know what I mean? For those who are entering and graduating, it's important that we're educated. People are educated to know how to live their lives. You know what I mean? Education is important to know how to live your life, to know what choices you're going to make to sustain, to take care of yourself and your loved ones. This is very important. You know what I mean? But I just want to share that, and if I could, all right. Hope everyone has a wonderful day.